Hello all, let's start section 2.2. Section 2.2 is about other types of equations. There are so many types of equations. We cover a few of them in this section. The first one that I will cover for you is absolute value equations. To recall, we remember that the absolute value of a positive number, for example, the absolute value of positive 2 is 2, correct? And also the absolute value of negative 2 is also 2. In general, if I talk about the definition of absolute values, the absolute value of a number is the number without sign, correct? And we know that the absolute value of x, if you remember, equals to positive x and negative x, because the absolute value of negative x is x and the absolute value of positive x is also x, correct? Based on this definition, now we can solve the absolute value equation. Focus on the lecture. I'll give you steps how to deal with different types of them. At least I'll try to introduce 2-3 types of them today for you, and you will be okay. Let's take an example, and I'll explain everything in an example for you. Example number 1. For example, absolute value of 2x minus 1 equals 7. Based on our definition, this definition that absolute value of x is equal to x and absolute value of negative x is also equal to x, every time that you are solving an absolute value equation, you are basically solving the absolute value equation twice, correct? Remove in your step 1, remove the absolute value sign from the left like this to x minus 1 equals to positive 7, make one equation and make another equation at the same time. 2x minus 1 equals to the negative 7, correct, based on this definition. And after that, solve both equations like a normal equation. To solve the first one, I will add 1 to both sides. Then 2x is equal 8. I'll divide both sides by 2. X is equal 4. One solution. And I'll solve the other one. Again, add 1 to both sides. Here, you end up with negative 6. Here, 2x is equal negative 6. Divide both sides by 2. X is equal negative 3. The important part for the absolute value equations is you have to check your answers. Check your answer. Sometimes both solutions are the answer for the problem. Sometimes one of them, sometimes none. Correct? To check back, write your equation. Absolute value of 2x minus 1 equals 7 and plug in 4 and x, correct? Here, like this. Absolute value of 2 times 4 minus 1 equals 7. Is this equal 7? Actually, we are checking, right? Absolute value of 8 minus 1. Is this equal to 7? 8 minus 1 gives you 7. Is absolute value of 7 is equal to 7? Yes, 7 is equal to 7 because absolute value of 7 is 7. Okay, then we check the answer. Yes, x equal 4 is the answer for this problem. Check the other one. Absolute value of 2x minus 1 equals negative positive 7. Again, and the original given equation, plug in negative 3 here. Absolute value of 2 times negative 3 minus 1 equals 7. Is this equal to 7? Absolute value of negative 6 minus 1. Is this equal to 7? Negative 6, negative 1 gives you negative 7. Is absolute value of negative 7 is 7? Yes. Then x equal negative 3 is also the solution for your equation. It means there are two numbers that if you plug in, only and only two numbers, if you plug in and the given equation, that's absolute value of x minus 1, it can gives you 7. Correct? Let's do another example and explain more steps in it. Example number 2. In this example, I'll add more steps in it. For example, let's say absolute value of 3x minus 1 minus 4 outside of the absolute value equals, let's say, 6. If you see a number outside of absolute value, another operation, your step 1 in this case is to move that number to the right side of the equation before removing the absolute value sign. Remember, make a note. Move the number that's outside of the absolute value to the right side of the equation before removing the absolute value sign. It means first add 4 to both sides. Correct? These two cancels out. Keep the absolute value sign. Absolute value of 3x minus 1 equals 10. Why we are doing this? Because we only know that the absolute value of x gives me x and negative x. If I have only this inside, if only and only my variable is inside the absolute value. That's the reason, correct? Now, from here on, remove the absolute value sign. 3x minus 1 equal 10. Correct? Some professors even say this way. Now use plus minus sign on the right side. I like it this way to do not forget. It means make two equations. 3x minus 1 equal 10 and 3x minus 1 equals negative 10. Solve both equations. Correct? Add 1 to both sides. These two cancels out. Then 3x equals 11. And divide both sides by 3. X is equal 11 over 3. Here, add 1 to both sides. These two cancels out. 3x is equal negative 9. Divide both sides by 3. X is equal negative 3. Now, which one is the answer? I don't know. I have to check. Maybe both, maybe one, or maybe none. Correct? The original equation is absolute value of 3x minus 1 minus, I think it was 4, minus 4 equals 6. Plug in 11/3, 11/3 in your equation. Absolute value of 3 times 11/3 minus 1 minus 4 equals 6. Is this equals? 3 cancels out with 3. Absolute value of 11 minus 1 minus 4. Is this equals 6? 11 minus 1 gives you absolute value of 10. Minus 4. Is this equals to 6? Absolute value of 10 is, we know it's 10. Then 10 minus 4. Is this equals to 6? 6 equals 6. Correct. Then 11/3 will be one of the solutions of my equation. Check the other answer. Absolute value of 3x minus 1 minus 4 equals 6. Plug in -3 here. Absolute value of 3 minus times -3 minus 1 minus 4. Is this equals to 6? Let's check it. 3 times -3 gives you -9 minus 1 minus 4 equal to 6. -9, -1 gives you absolute value of -10 minus 4 equals 6. Absolute value of -10 is 10. Minus 4 equals 6. 10 minus 4 gives you 6. 6 equals 6. Yes, correct. 6 is equal to 6. Then -3 is also the solution for my equation. Example number 3. Two absolute value of x plus 1 minus 4 equals 8. What to do in this equation? I told you, when you see numbers around absolute value, outside of absolute value, first move them one by one to the right side of your equation. In this case, in this problem, first I'll add 4 to both sides. Then 2 absolute value of x plus 1 equals 8 plus 4 gives you 12. Now I have to take care of this 2, which is on the left side. Actually, when you have 2 absolute value, it means 2 times absolute value. Then we divide both sides by 2. Correct? These 2 cancels out. Absolute value of x plus 1 equals 6. You see, in all cases, when I'm moving the numbers outside of the absolute value to the right side of my equation, I'll keep the absolute value side. Now, when I reach to this step here, I'll use the plus minus sign on the right side, and I'll remove the absolute value sign from the left and make 2 equations. X plus 1 equals 6 and x plus 1 equal -6. Subtract 1 from both sides. X is equal 5. Subtract 1 from both sides. Your x is equal -7. 2 solutions. Now next step is to check both solutions. Correct? We had 2 absolute value of x plus 1 minus 4 equals 8. Plug in 5 in the equation. Then 2 absolute value of 5 plus 1 minus 4. Is this equals to 8? Let's check it. 2 absolute value of 5 plus 1 gives you 6, minus 4 equals 8. Before multiplying, you have to remove the absolute value. Absolute value of 6 is 6. 2 times 6 gives you 12. Minus 4 equals 8. 12 minus 4 gives you 8. 8 is equal to 8. Correct? Same thing with this answer. I'll check it here. 2 absolute value of x plus 1 minus 4 equals to 8. Plug in negative 7 here. 2 absolute value of negative 7 plus 1 minus 4. Is this equals to 8? 2 absolute value of negative 6 minus 4 equals 8. Absolute value of negative 6 is 6. 6 times 2 gives you 12. Minus 4 equals to 8. 8 equals to 8. Yes, both answers are correct. Now look at this example. I don't know which number 4 or number 5. You count the examples, how many I do. I'm not counting how many examples I'll do. I'll just make some examples for you. Absolute value of 3x minus 6 equals negative 4. Some students, when we remember the definition very well, we can see that this equation doesn't have any solution. Sometimes we didn't focus, we do all the steps. At the end, when you plug in the number, you see it's not working, it's not the solution. Look, on your left side, you have a negative number. And we know the absolute value of a number is always positive, a number without sign. It means even I don't need to solve this equation. Immediately I know my answer, 5 or no solution. This equation has no solution. Correct? Another example. Be careful. I'm doing these examples because I told you as soon as you see a negative number on the right side, even don't solve it. The answer is no solution, but be careful. Look at this example. If you write immediately for me, no solution, you are wrong. Because you see on your left side, the absolute value is not alone actually. There is another number outside. First, take care of that number. Correct? Add 8 to both sides. Now, these two cancels out. Absolute value of 3x minus 6 equals negative 4, positive 8 gives you positive 4. You see, the no solution was the wrong answer. Actually, this equation has a solution. You have to solve it step by step. What to do? Use plus minus sign on the right side, remove the absolute value sign, and make two equations. 3x minus 6 equal positive 4. 3x minus 6 equals negative 4. Add 6 to both sides. I want to do both equations at the same time. 3x equals 10. Here, 3x equals 2. And divide both sides by 3. X equals 10 over 3. And here x equals 2/3. I'm not going to check this answer, this problem for you. You can check it and see which one is the answer. Maybe both, maybe one, correct? But this is, I try to explain the important part for you in this example that if you see immediately a negative number to the right side, don't say it has no solution. Maybe you have a number on the left side. Or if your absolute value is alone on the left side and you have a negative number on the right side, in that case, yes, even don't solve it. Immediately you know the answer, that's a no solution. Correct? Let's do one more example. I'll copy this one from your book. Absolute value of x plus 1 equals 3x minus 3. One more thing that I didn't mention at the first day of the lecture for you, I should have. When I do examples during my lecture, if it's a face-to-face class or if I'm recording a lecture, I use some of the examples from your book, but most of the examples, I just make those examples and I'll solve. But please do not search where are these examples in my book. Some of them is from your book, because in your book, especially in your book, in this book, they only do 1 or 2 examples, but I do a lot of them, right? That's why I'll bring a lot of examples. I'll make those, and the ones that in your book, sometimes I'm using those also to explain it for you, correct? Now, what to do here? What you do here, because on the left side you don't have absolute value, use the plus minus sign on the right side and make 2 equations. X plus 1 equals positive side of 3x minus 3, and x plus 1 equals negative of 3x minus 3. Focus on the second equation. The way that I write, it's totally wrong. You had some math classes, and you know here what you need to do is you have to use a parentheses, because if I don't put a parentheses on the right side, this negative will be only belong to the 3x. But if I use a parenthesis, I will distribute this negative to both terms, correct? Be careful. Now solve both equations. Here, subtract 1 from both sides and subtract 3x from both sides. You know what I'm doing. I'll try to bring x's in one side, the constant on the other side. You can do it in 2 steps, or you can do it here like this in 1 step. These 2 cancels out. Negative 2x equals, these 2 cancels out, negative 4. Divide by negative 2, then x is equal to. Here, first distribute the negative to your parentheses. X plus 1 equals negative 3x plus 3. Now add 3x to both sides and subtract 1 from both sides. 4x equals 2. Divide by 4, x equals 2 over 4. Correct? Now what you do here, you plug in both answers in your equation and you see which one is the answer for your equation. Here, you can simplify more. X equals 1/2. I know this because it's solved in your book, that 1/2 is not the solution of the equation, but please check this at home. Plug in back these 2 solutions in your equation and make sure that's not the answer. You have only one answer. X equal 2 is the answer for this equation. Correct? This is how you are dealing with absolute value equations. I don't want to do another lecture at the same time here, talk about another type of the equation. I'll stop the lecture, this video, and I'll make another video on solving equations using roots. There are 3 or 4 types of the equations that they want to check in this section. Then I'll make for you 3 or 4 uh, uh, videos for this section to separate these topics from each other. I'll stop the lecture and see you back on 2.2 part 2.